What's up, everybody? I am Travis,
I'm Cartoon Joe.
and welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast that is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether they be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got them all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, check out their amazing store, fill up your cart with all their amazing comics. And at checkout, use the discount code FREAKNET, that's FREAKNET. You'll save 10% on your entire order at CarterComics.com. We call it a discount code, not a promo code, because a promo code is a one and done, where a discount code can be used on any purchase you ever make at CarterComics.com. And not just at their website, but at their 4 different eBay accounts as well. And you can find links to all 4 of those accounts at their homepage at CarterComics.com. Again, whether it be graded or raw, Carter Comics has got them all because it's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs.
That's right.
Yeah. Carter Comics, proud sponsor of Freaknet Studios, This Figure Show, and the JFW podcast, and sponsoring our trip this September to do our cemetery vlogs.
That's right.
So we got that all planned out. I'm really excited for that, and I guess in a way it's almost like a mini vacation. I mean, it's work, but it's still a vacation.
Right. Yeah, kind of. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Plus, we got different ways of editing, or not editing, but recording now. I mean, we got the gimbal. We're gonna record off of the cell phone. I got the lapel mics. Tested them out. They work. So
nice.
Yeah, so I'm really excited for that.
Well, that's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how we can improve, or evolve, whatever word needs to be used to show that we're trying to do more and be better in our videos, that are going up on YouTube and everything. Also, I'm working on getting a certain thing that we already talked about, so we could put another video out that we could maybe record while we're out on our trip and everything. That I'm really excited about doing as well. But I don't have a whole lot that I have planned to talk about today. Nothing's really has happened, which I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing.
We've reached a weird point in the summer where there's stuff that's like coming up, and also we've got the writer strike, the actor strike. There's a chance that UPS is going to go on strike, but nothing has really, like, the strikes are happening, but like the thing about a strike is that the point of it is that nothing is happening. Right.
Yeah.
And so we might go into an extended amount of nothing happening when UPS goes on strike, which is interesting. It's kind of fun. The other thing that has happened in the last couple of weeks, are you familiar with the Green brothers at all? John and Hank Green on YouTube?
No, never heard of them.
Yeah, they were probably some of the earliest YouTube guys, and they did a thing. Their main channel that I know them from is Vlog Brothers. Okay. Where they started, I think it started as an everyday thing, but now that they're, successful and stuff, they do it, twice a week. So on Tuesdays, John Green does like a vlog toward his brother where he talks for like 5 minutes off the cuff about just whatever topic he's thinking about. And then on Friday, Hank either responds or talks about his own thing. And they just kind of go back and forth, Friday, Tuesday. Well, for the last, 6 months or so, 8 months or so, John Green has gotten like hyper focused on the topic of tuberculosis, which is the world's most deadly disease. About, I want to say 1.5 million people a year still die from it. Like you think of it as this 19th century, she got the consumption and died disease. 1.5.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay, I just had to make sure I'm still in the same mindset you are. Okay, so when you say 19th century, are you talking about the 1800s?
Yes.
Okay. I never understood why they do that shit.
Oh, because if you are counting starting from zero, year one is the first year of the first century.
Yeah.
And so when you get to year 101, that's the first year of the second century.
Yeah, but wouldn't they say if 101 is in the 100th century?
Year 101?
Yeah.
No, because the century just means 100.
Yeah, but so 100 will be the 100th century.
No, it would just be the 100th year. It'd be the second century. So let's do, if we were doing it with decades, so year one is the first year of the first decade. Yeah. Year 11 is the first year of the second decade.
Okay. Yeah. I still don't get it. What would you call year 1000?
It would be depending on how you count it, I'm typically year zero is the last year. So the year 1000 would be the last year of the sorry, the clock just chimed and it confused me. It would be the last year of the 10th century.
Yeah, but when you look at it, they're technically calling that the 11th century.
Well, at 1001 is the 11th.
Yeah, but when it hit year 2000, they call that the 21st century.
Yeah, because people, yes, it is a very, very common error because it's way more exciting to see the number go from 99 to 0 than it is for it to go from 0 to 1. And so a lot of people will talk about 0 as the beginning, which is allowed. You can do it that way if you want to.
Yeah, I mean, it was just something I never understood. And like I said, I just want to verify that when you said 19th century, you meant the 1800s, because you really went Oregon Trail on that shit.
Yeah, yeah. Just because it just feels like tuberculosis is an Oregon Trail disease.
Yeah, what was that other one? With a D.
Oh, dysentery.
There we go. Dysentery. Yeah, no, I just like I said, I just want to make sure that we're on the same page of what we're talking about. And also, for all of you out there, give me credit because I said Oregon, not Oregon.
Nice. Yeah.
I'm trying to appease those out there who I've talked to from the West Coast, Oregon. I'm still not calling it Oregon, like a liver. Oregon. I'll do that.
Nice.
I'll meet them halfway. But anyways, no, I had no idea tuberculosis was still a thing because no one ever talked about it.
Right. No one ever does. It's not a rich country disease. And so we just don't think about it anymore.
But realistically, no, and I'll let you continue.
No, you're good. No, this is great. Look, we have time to fill.
Oh, we so do. We do. I have two very minute, I'm using the word properly, topics I did want to bring up, and they'll probably cover maybe 2 minutes apiece, if that. But realistically, think about it, talking about the era of coronavirus, other than COVID, I don't hear anyone ever talking about illnesses and anything like that, at all. I still don't hear anyone talking about flu season, colds, nothing. There's no illnesses that are ever really the topic of discussions and stuff anymore. It seems like as soon as COVID happened, that was the most extreme, and any illness that happens beyond this is it's just normal now. It's like when it seemed like flus took over the urgency of migraines or something like that.
Right.
So when you say TB, I think iron lungs, 1940s, stuff like that, right? That's when it was 1920 maybe, somewhere whenever the iron lungs were. But FDR, he had TB, right?
Polio.
Okay,
which is another old timey disease.
Yeah. So, anyways, you continue what you're saying, but yes, I have not heard of tuberculosis, other than maybe history books, or I think maybe a couple years ago, maybe 1819, I heard like one person got like tuberculosis or some shit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, and like if you work in healthcare, you have to get checked to see if you have, make sure your booster is up to date.
Yeah.
Because usually people will get their first TB vaccine when they're like a toddler, and then they'll get another one sometime in elementary school, and then they'll get another one before they go to college. And then if you work in healthcare, they want you to get more, just to make sure it stays up to date. But yeah, so because of that, there is almost no tuberculosis in like America or Europe or Canada, whatever. But in a lot of the so-called third world countries and stuff, it's still very prevalent. And, one of the best medicines that we have to treat TB, without a vaccine, and also to like prevent people from catching it is called bedaquiline. And you don't have to remember the name of it, but it's just, I happen to remember it, so I'm saying it because it's a weird word and I like weird words, but it's called bedaquiline. Johnson & Johnson makes it. And they have had the patent on it for 20 years. And so for 20 years, they've been able to make whatever money they want to make on it, charge whatever they want, give whatever they want away, whatever they want to do. Well, as of 2 days ago, the patent, the primary patent expired. And they were planning to start enforcing a secondary patent that would give them 4 more years of basically monopoly control of this drug in certain countries. And so this is like what John Green was talking about is we have these drugs that are basically miracle drugs. They were primarily created with public money. The public paid $600 million for these drugs. Johnson & Johnson only put in like $200 million. And Johnson & Johnson more than made their money back. And after 20 years, it's time to let the public have this drug again so that they can make generics in the countries that need them the most. Yeah. And so he put out this Vlogbrothers video that was basically like, boy, it sure looks like right now Johnson & Johnson is going to enforce their secondary patent. And as a result, over the next 4 years, 6 million people will die of tuberculosis. And it generated this massive backlash against Johnson & Johnson that caused them to at least start taking the steps to not enforce their patent as strongly. So that's kind of an exciting thing that's happened in the last week. I'll trust. What's that?
Isn't Johnson & Johnson also the ones who had like the shitty vaccine?
Yeah, they had. I don't know.
Like when you rank all 3, they came in last.
Yes. Yeah. Their vaccine, I believe, was only like 70% effective.
Yeah.
At preventing serious illness.
Right. So it seems to me like really they should just stick to like tear-free baby shampoos.
Right. Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Is that the same? That's the same Johnson & Johnson, right?
Yes, it is the same Johnson & Johnson.
Right.
They did improve their shot when they realized like, oh, if we give people a booster or a second dose. So it was originally a 1-dose shot, and at 1 dose you had about a 70% efficacy compared to a 1 dose of either of the like Moderna or BioNTech, Pfizer. Vaccines were like 93% after your first one.
Gotcha.
But no, I'm sorry, it wasn't after the first one. Those ones were 2-dose sequences. And so after your 2 doses, you had 95%. Johnson & Johnson didn't think people would show up for a second dose, and so they're like, well, a first dose is about 70%. For most people, that's probably good enough, so we'll release it. And then later, they added a second dose, and it did increase the efficacy up to the same level as the other 2.
Yeah. Are boosters still a thing? Are they still doing the boost? I can honestly say, for as ignorant as they'll make me sound, I haven't given a second thought to COVID or the coronavirus or vaccines or anything probably in like since it hasn't been mainstream media. Yeah. Like mainstream media.
So and everybody else.
Yeah, so it's just like I don't know if boosters, because like when the vaccine first came out and they started initiating like maybe the first 3, maybe 4 boosters to follow, maybe 3. I would, I get, a text or a call from a handful of relatives. Have you got vaccinated yet? Have you got the booster yet? Till one, they just got stopped. So it's like, okay, maybe they're done doing boosters, or maybe the family's just like, listen, if he's not going to do it, he's not going to do it.
In October last year, Biden declared the pandemic was over, even though it was like a little premature and like 3,000 people were still dying a week. Which is a lot better than 3,000 a day. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah. But what's more premature? Him calling the pandemic over, or pulling people out of Afghanistan?
Ooh, that's a tough call.
It's a tough call, isn't it?
Yeah. I am only going to give a slight edge to him declaring the pandemic over because we shouldn't have been in Afghanistan to begin with.
True. True. And it's weird to think, like, he called it, okay, so I guess when you look at it, it's like, okay, he called the pandemic over after, and it's only been going on, was it 2.5 years, give or take?
Yeah, roughly.
And then he prematurely pulled people out of Afghanistan, and that was only going on for 19
20.
years?
Yeah.
20, yeah, something like that, yeah. So, yeah, it's just, that's so goofy. But,
yeah, and the defense contractors really want us back in there. Although I think they're mollified by the fact that we'll be in Ukraine for the rest of our natural lives.
Yeah, I don't see that. And it's weird because, like, you see articles coming around saying, like, Russia's starting to fumble. Russia's starting to, they're starting to lose. But now it's not like 2 weeks later, they're destroying everything in the Ukraine again. It's like, what happened?
Right. I'm in favor of helping the Ukrainian people, like, defend their homeland or whatever.
Yeah.
But, like, if we can dole out, like, I don't know, I think it's almost $100 billion in the last year.
It's a lot.
Or maybe more than $100 billion now. If we can do that for
how much we gave to Ukraine?
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be pushing 130 at this point. And like, I really genuinely, I don't begrudge it because, like, money is kind of fake. But my thing is like, if money can be fake for war, why can't it be fake for healthcare? Mm-hmm. Why can't it be fake for the student loans that I'm going to have to start repaying soon?
I heard about that. Like, they're, they're going to forgive, but you had to pay off like a percentage of it or some shit.
Yeah, you had to have been paying for 20 to 25 years.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah.
I thought it was a percentage of what was paid off. Like if you paid off 70% or something like that, then they'll, like, relieve.
I hadn't heard that, but that sounds good too.
That's what I thought it was. I thought because, to say somebody's, and I get, like, maybe 22 years, like, doctors, lawyers, the PhDs and shit like that. I understand that, but it's like, what does that do for, the 4-year college student or the 5-year college student?
And, like, if you're in school, or not if you're in school, but, like, there are some people who have not been able to get a job in the field in which they've studied. And even if they have, it doesn't pay what it was promised it would pay. And so as a result, even though they've been making payments for 15 years, they owe more now than they did when they graduated. Yeah. And that's what's crazy to me. And it's even worse, I think, for people who have huge loans, like doctors and lawyers and stuff. But, like, I have a little bit less sympathy, except for, we're in the middle of a doctor shortage and a nursing shortage. But yeah. And I may also be a little salty because I was under Obama. As a clergy person, I lost the ability to get public servant loan forgiveness.
Okay.
And it didn't come back until like the very end of the Trump era. And then luckily Biden hasn't gotten rid of it again yet, but, like, I never signed up for it. I should have 4 years toward my 10, and I don't because I just never did it because it wasn't an option when I started.
Yeah, which
is my fault. That's on me. But.
Well, I was supposed to find out, like, the home, the mortgage relief programs and stuff like that.
Oh, gotcha. I don't know anything about those.
Yeah, so again, like, it's so weird because, like, looking at, online, what's real, what's not, shit like that. Side note, from what I found, it says $113 billion. I'm not sure how accurate that is.
Okay. That sounds about right to me.
But I was looking at like the mortgage forgiveness programs and all that stuff, like through the state, and like I went to apply for it, and for some reason you can't like backdate it and shit. Because like it didn't seem like it became a thing until after I found a job after being laid off for 9 months. So I couldn't backdate it, so I had to use my current information. And as soon as I put in my hourly and my guesstimated salary and stuff like that, I made too much.
Ugh.
And it's like, well, that's pretty cool. I mean, that sucks, but I mean, it's pretty cool that, you know, I needed it and I wasn't there when I needed it.
Right.
And now that it's here, I can't utilize it because, you know, I have a full-time, good-paying job. But what does that do for me for the last 9 months? You know, it's
right. Yeah.
So I mean, it sucks, but I mean, it's something I can't dwell on it. I can't change it. So I, sit there and pity party over it. And I did buy my lottery ticket for tomorrow. So let's see if I walk away with that $350 million.
Nice.
I want to worry.
Someone won the billion out in California last night.
I thought it was Ohio.
Oh, I heard it was California. I don't know.
California?
The Powerball?
No, you could be right. I thought it was Ohio. Powerball winner.
Los Angeles.
Okay. I thought maybe there was another ticket in Ohio, but
yeah.
One winning ticket sold for $1.8 billion Powerball jacket in LA. Cool. What was in Ohio then? Maybe it was just $1 million winner or some shit.
Million. Yep.
Okay. Cool. See, I'll be fine with that.
I'd take $1 million.
Right? I mean, the way I see it, like, even if I win $1 million after taxes and fees and all that shit, I'm still gonna walk away with, I think, like $450,000 or some shit. I could easily wipe out all of my fucking debt and, make, I don't know, make some college funds or something for, nieces and nephews and all that jazz, little small ones, it won't be able to do much, not like the $350 million, but,
right.
I would definitely
$350 million, you're not just set for life, You can do whatever you want, basically, for the rest of your life.
Oh, God, trust me, I will.
Yeah.
Freaknet Studios will be. You ever see the movie Benchwarmers with Rob Schneider, David Spade, and that guy who played Napoleon Dynamite?
I don't think so.
So
surely I have, because it sounds so familiar.
Yeah, it's a movie like they're all adults and they start playing baseball.
Seen. Oh my God. You know what? I think it came out around the same time as like Bad News Bears and stuff, and so I think I confused them.
Yes, and John Lovitz is like this really, really rich dad.
Yeah.
And they want to build like this big like baseball stadium and all this stuff, and they only got like 24 hours to do it. But he's like, well, we gotta get it done. And remember, I only got $40 billion on me.
On me.
So they built it, and I was like, dude, if I had that kind of ridiculous money, I would find a really great contractor. Like, listen, this is what I want, this is what I need, build it as quick as you can, just get it up and going.
Right.
But obviously, I want to make it. I'd want to make the building perfect. Like I said, we need offices, because I want everyone to have their own offices, and I'm going to mention this. I'm going to mention this on Sunday when I do the live stream for SCW. I can mention it here as well. As of, or effective immediately, if you want to be professional about it, 3, which I don't know if you know this, but there was 6 co-hosts of JFW.
Total or like at once?
Total. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds all right.
3 of them are no longer with JFW. Dizzle J is officially done with JFW. Steve and Dally are all done. So,
oh dang.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but like, and this is the part I'm not sure if it's gonna make me sound like a dick or not. And I don't want to be like a dick, and I apologize to those if they do listen to me and you do think I'm a dick, but just, I hope you realize where I'm coming from in this. And I explained it to, Pat and Mike, or Nubby and Pac-Man, who I do the show with, and I explained to them, and I think they understand. I'm not sure if they really do or not, but I gave Steve, DJ, and Dally numerous opportunities to come back onto the show, and none of them have been on a show in probably almost a year.
Mm.
But I gave them numerous opportunities. Hey, whenever you can, come back. Whenever you can, come back. Blah blah. But then I realized something, and a lot of this has to do with a conversation we had on the previous show, maybe a couple months or something ago, and like we talked about like like in a perfect world, winning the lottery, starting Freakin Studios, and everyone working with us and all that other stuff. And it kind of dawned on me, like, if that was to happen and the building was built and I called, you, Nubby, Pac-Man, the guy, who are part of these podcasts, and say, listen, this is what's going on. Here's my plan. Here's what I could offer you as a salary, blah, blah. You into it or not, yes or no, whatever. This will be our full-time jobs. We now work for Sturbico.
Right.
Be the big umbrella Freakin Studios and all that other stuff. They'd be employees of Sturbico. But then I realized something, like, would I offer that to DJ, Steve, and Dally if they haven't contributed to it in a year? Like, they haven't done anything for it in a year.
Yeah. I feel like it depends on, like, did they not do it because they just didn't want to, or did they not do it because of some other reason that makes sense? It's your company, your job in this fantasy.
Yeah. So. But see, and here's the thing. It's like, I record JFW on Monday evenings, 6:00. I've recorded JFW on Saturday mornings, Sunday mornings, Thursday evenings. This is almost like here with us on here. Whatever time we could find to do it, we do it. And I went to DJ, and I went to DJ numerous times, said, I want you to get back on the show, because he's the one that started this with me. We started this back in 2017. Actually, we just hit 6 years and a month of doing this show. And he kept telling me, I work nights during the week. I said, fine, let's do it Saturday mornings. And we could do it on Skype. You don't even have to leave your house. We'll do it Skype Saturday mornings. Like, well, I got the kids on the weekend, and I get that. But I'm sure in the mornings on Saturday, if you don't have anything planned, call me up, sit on your couch, let's talk about wrestling. Because I want to do the two different JFW shows. I want to do the independents and the stuff we see on TV. Because as much as I love talking about the independents, I'm not getting that worldwide audience that I used to get when we talked about WWE, AEW, stuff like that. And I want to get back into doing that. I said, like, let's do it on Saturday. Let's do it on Sunday. Let's do it Saturday morning. Hell, I will do it Friday night after you get off work, if that's what it takes. I gave in every hour. Like, I try to make myself as extremely flexible as possible to try to accommodate everybody. I record JFW now on Mondays at 6:00 because I thought that'd be easier for people to get on the show who have to wake up super early the next morning for work. Because we used to record at like 7:30.
Right.
But we were able to make it 6:00 so I could get home, get Cooper out, grab something to drink, and get up and start the podcast. It's just like I tried to be accommodating as possible, but they did not want to put the effort in. And I don't hold any ill will towards them for it. I understand it. But it dawned on me, it's like, if I was to start this up, all of a sudden now they're available.
Right.
It's like you weren't here for the last year with the growth that this has been doing.
Right.
It's like, it's one of those things where, like, Derek I would hire because of his college degree. Colin I would hire because of his technical, logic, because they could set up what we need to do, video, audio, and all that other jazz.
Right.
I may even have Colin come back on the show. I don't go. Colin's an exception to the rule. Like I said, I love DJ, Steve, Dally, and everything, but Colin's different. Colin's an exception to it.
Yeah, he's like your best friend. So
yeah. But it's just like, I didn't want, on the off chance that Freakin Studios ever becomes a thing, I want to reward the people who who were here through it all.
Right.
Not the ones who just happen to want to come back now that I can offer them a salary and an easy, let's be honest, an easy job. You know, to get paid a salary to come and just podcast.
Right.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but like, if you really want that reward, then you got to work through the struggles of what we're doing here now. You know, it's like, here we are, you know, recording the show at 8 o'clock at night, knowing that we got to be up by 5:30 tomorrow morning to do our workouts and stuff. You know,
right.
Finding the time to do this stuff. You know, I still have a full-time job. I'm still trying to, you know, schedule everything to where I can do the 2 podcasts and get to the gym, still do the yoga in the morning and stuff like that. And I still do, you know, the SCW live streams things once a month on Sundays, and I still want to go to church. So there's a lot of things I want to do, but I'm still going to stay committed to doing these 2 shows because I want this stuff to succeed. But I don't get that from them. And if they don't have the same passion, it's like, then why get the reward out of it? You know, it's just, for me, it just doesn't make sense anymore. So I gave them an option. I just said to them, hey, listen, I need to know by the end of the week if you're going to be part of this or not. If not, no hard feelings, no ill will. I totally understand it. I just need to update the social media on who's still here and who's not. Steve and DJ said they can't. I had to message Dally personally. She said that, you know, she felt that she was already replaced when I brought in on Pac-Man. And if you look at it from one perspective, yes, maybe she was replaced, but she wasn't replaced because she sucked. She was replaced because she never wanted to show up.
Right.
I needed somebody. I wanted a third person. I wanted a third chair on that show. And Pac-Man, you know, he could fit that because he knows he likes independent wrestling. He's a fan of independent wrestling. And he likes to talk and, you know, likes to have his, you know, who he is. He works his gimmick. But I didn't replace her. I just brought him on because she didn't want to show up. And I'm fine with that. She has other shit in her life she wants to, you know, she wants to work on.
Right.
But I'm not going to feel guilty because she thinks I'm replacing her, because I'm not. You know, I'm not replacing her because I don't want her there. I'm replacing her because I needed somebody there. The same reason Dally showed up in the first place was because DJ wasn't able to be there all the time. The same reason Steve showed up because Dally wasn't able to be there all the time. You know, same reason Nubby showed up because nobody was showing up. It's like, I don't bring people on to keep adding to the collection of podcast hosts. I just need to find somebody to do the show with, and they showed up. It's just how it is. Like, I would love to have a third chair over here. You know, I mean, you and I, we do fine. I don't think we ever really need it. But I mean, there were times where it was fun having Colin on because we got that. Colin has a weird personality to himself.
Yeah,
we're like he'll say goofy ass things, but there are certain times where he'll hear a goofy ass comment and be like, "Well, I don't know about all that." It's like pick your battles, Colin. You want to be offended or not be offended? Pick one. You can't have both. You know, just, you know, but that's what I loved about Colin. It's like he's a walking, talking contradiction. You know?
Right.
It's just like but like I said, if Colin ever came back, yeah, probably. But I have an idea of who I would have as far as Freakin' Studios, who I would have a part of it and what we would do and everything. And then there would just be growth to it. I mean, it'd just be that simple. But I mean, that's the pie in the sky, you know, what if, you know, dream and, you know, things. And it's okay to imagine it, but I mean, right now we just gotta grow it on our own based on what we do here. And I mean, the numbers from what I see and the stats from our show, I mean, they're great. You know, I think we're averaging, you know, what the hell was it? 70 to 80 downloads a week.
Nice.
So I know we don't typically talk about numbers here on the show, and I'm fine with that, but I mean, I'm happy with it. I mean, it's growth, and it's growth that, you know, I can be proud of talking about.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I did mention how we've been waking up early to do workouts and everything. So tell me about, you've only done it twice so far, but give me your experience on DDP Yoga.
Yeah, I like it. I do. So I don't know how to put it. It is unlike any other workout program I've ever tried.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of programs will have modifications, like if you can't do stuff, but they make it seem like you can't do them, if that makes any sense, or like their modification is just a little tiny modification that doesn't, like, for like runner's lunges or whatever, your knee goes to the mat. That is a big difference for a runner's lunge, but, the push-ups in DDP yoga, you could do, regular push-up, kneeling push-ups, or he has that like table push-up. I really like that table push-up. I can do that, and I can do it with the 3 count down and the hold and the 3 count up, which I can't do. I can't do with the kneeling push-up or certainly not the regular push-up. So I really like the progression system. It is, in some ways, it's like cornier than a lot of workout programs I've ever done, but it's corny in a genuine way.
What do you mean by corny?
Like it's shit, the thing that really literally every time we do it, I'm like, okay, I'll do it. I understand why we're doing it. It is a good stretch, but it's silly that you're calling to have me stand at attention. Like, I'm not in the military. I don't want to be in the military.
Gotcha.
That feels very hokey to me.
The one thing I don't like, and I work off of the DVDs. I'm taking you're off the app, correct?
I'm on the app, yeah.
Okay. So I'm not sure if what we watch is the same, but with the Diamond Dozen, so we did the Diamond Dozen on Monday. My work, I'm doing the basic. Did you start on the beginner?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So for me, it's Monday was Diamond Dozen, Wednesday was Diamond Dozen plus energy, and then tomorrow what we do is going to be energy.
Yep, same.
So for Diamond Dozen for me, because it's the DVD, and I don't know if it's the same on the app, the Diamond Dozen DVD or the Diamond Dozen part of it is explaining to you the move every single time when you watch it. So it's not like a workout where it gives you like a timer at the bottom. It says, okay, let's go into, catcher. Let's go into table. It's every clip's like, okay, this time we're going to show you how to do, how to do catcher, how to do broken table, or, how to do this. It's like they're clips. And I think that's why it takes so long, because if I looked at right, so the Diamond Dozen takes about 45 minutes to do. Energy is about 30. So on Monday it takes 45 minutes. On Wednesday it took roughly an hour and 15 to do.
Yep.
So Wednesday I didn't get a chance to finish it all in the morning because I wake up at 5:30, but I gotta be done by 6:30. So I only had an hour. Right. So what I did is I did the Diamond Dozen in the morning and I did the energy when I got home. So I still got completed. It was just in 2 separate things because
I wish I'd done it that way, because doing it back to back, I did not have enough gas in my tank.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing that I love about it, because when they sit there, and especially it being yoga, he's showing you how he's showing you the moves, and there's 13 different moves that you could do. And it's he tells you if you need to take a break, go into I don't know what the hell that resting pose is.
Yeah, he calls it safety zone.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the other thing, is he's renamed all these yoga moves. That's child's pose in regular yoga, but because of the demographic that his program is aimed at, which is not a bad thing. I'm not criticizing. It's an interesting difference. He calls it safety zone because what grown adult who's doing this thing wants to sit in child pose as and also that's not, when you call it child's pose, it's not going to be a place that you go to when you're tired. But if you call it safety zone, that's where you go when you're tired, when you're exhausted, you go to safety zone.
Yeah, and his biggest thing is and the one thing I do love about the most is that he doesn't take it so seriously when he's talking to you about it, when he's doing those things with you. And so when you're talking about doing the stand attention and all that other stuff, he's trying to in a way make yoga masculine. That was his whole big thing when he first started out saying when he was told by the doctor to do yoga, him being a mid to late 30s professional wrestler in the early to mid 90s, being told, hey, go do yoga, and the macho, and I was I'm not gonna do yoga, that's for women and stuff like that. So then he started doing it anyways because his wife encouraged him to do it. He added calisthenics and all this other stuff to it. So he tried to make yoga for the working man or the common man. It's like, so I'm just going to call these different poses, and they make them sound cooler than what they are and everything.
Gotcha.
To try
I didn't know that. I didn't know that he did that on like that. I didn't realize that was like a reason he did it. That's cool.
Yeah,
I thought it was just marketing. You know?
No, yeah, no. Yeah, no. He wanted. He was trying to. I guess in a way it was because he was trying to market it to men who were worried about doing yoga because he didn't think that they would see it as a macho thing. So
right,
he
but it's the idea that he had to market it to himself first.
Yeah.
That's what makes it respectable to me. And that's what I mean when I say it's authentic. Like, yeah, it's kind of corny, but it's authentic.
Yeah, and then obviously he wanted, and I remember watching some kind of thing. But what he calls everything, he just, as soon as he did the pose, that's the name that came to his mind, like the catcher pose. I know it's called something else, but Tim, it's when you're...
Yeah, I actually don't know what that one is in yoga.
Yeah, I don't know the name of it. I think he kept downward dog. I think that's the same one.
Yep.
But I don't think broken table is. Catcher pose, Hulk it out isn't one, and stuff like that.
Right.
And that's another thing too. It's like in yoga, you don't sit there and go, ah! You know, but then standing at attention is standing straight up. So like, he modified it to a way where he was more comfortable doing it. And this way, when he got his buddies incorporated into it, who had the same mindset as him, he's like, dude, just try me, you know, like stand at attention, catcher's pose, manly things. And so that way these other wrestlers who grew up in the era of, you know, where men would find more comfort in doing it and stuff. And that's what I love it because it's not so much the manly part of it, but the fact that it's like somebody who's on my level is talking to me, not, you know, nothing against like Billy Blanks or whatever that fucking guy is or the other people who created their like workout videos. We're just saying like, this is a professional, personal trainer kind of thing who's, you know, it's like, it's like when I do DDP yoga, it's like I'm working out with a buddy.
Yeah.
Not somebody who's coaching me, somebody who's leading me through these workouts and doing them together, talking about, you know, checking your heart rate and all this other stuff. And again, you use chairs for balance, use yoga blocks, take a break.
Whatever you need.
Yeah.
I really like the like agency he gives you, where he's just like, you know, it's your program, it's your life. Do it whatever way works for you. I already have your money. I don't give a fuck.
Right? Yeah.
How you do it. It's your program. Make it work the way that you're going to do it. You know, if you're going to do it in a way that makes you not do it tomorrow, then don't do it that way. Do it a way that makes you show up again, which I like. I really like that a lot. You never hear that. I've done P90X. I've done the Apple Fitness thing. I've tried some of the other Beachbody stuff. None of them give a shit about you as a human being the same way that I think DDP Yoga does.
Yeah, and his biggest thing too is accountability, and that's why like when I used to do the internet vlogs, and on what the hell is that website I used to do them on?
WordPress.
Yes. Every time I did it, God, I really miss doing those, and I think I should do them again. I really do miss doing them. But every single time I would finish a journal entry at the bottom, it says accountability in progress. And I got accountability because of DDP Yoga, because this whole thing is you need to be accountable for yourself. If you want to lose the weight, if you want to do the workouts, if you want to eat healthy, you need to do that for yourself. You need to hold yourself accountable on making sure you put time away to do the workouts. You put the right food into your mouth. Like it's like, you know, I sit here and I preach a lot of things that I don't follow, and I don't know why I can't. And that's something I know I need to work on a sense of like, in my mind, if you want to quit smoking, quit putting a cigarette in your mouth. If you want to stop eating junk food, quit putting junk food into your mouth. Like I get that the habits are going to be hard to beat, but you could stop them if you just do it. If you just hold yourself accountable. It's like, God, I really need to quit eating soda or drinking soda. Well, then stop buying soda. You know, right. I really need to stop eating junk food. Well, stop buying junk food.
Right.
You know, I need to eat healthier. Then do that. It's like, you know, I should quit smoking. Well, then stop smoking. Stop buying them. Stop lighting them. Stop inhaling them. You can just stop. You have the ability to do these things, and that's pretty much what he says to you know, when you guys like, listen, Make the workout. That's the one thing I love too. Make the workout work for you.
Right. Yeah. I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. Do what you can to get through it the best you can, but just don't give up on it. You know, if you have to stop, and I think he says in Diamond Dozen, if you have to pause me, if you have to shut me up, do it.
Right.
Take a break. You know, just pause me, come back when you're done and stuff like that. And it pisses me off so much that I've had this program for what feels like a decade. I've had it to the point where I had to buy a new set because my other set got scratched up, whatever. But I've had this it had to be almost like 9 years now. I think I had it when I was over at the apartment, and I've been at my house for 8 years now. That I still have yet to commit to completing an entire workout program. Just because for some reason I just find every reason not to do it.
Sure.
And I mean, like I said, and that's why I'm truly blessed that you're doing this with me. And I love the fact you're doing the same program with me.
Yeah, me too. I'm glad I found a good discount on it I'll have the app for a year. I figured that's probably, if I'm still doing it in a year, I'll buy the DVDs.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing too. And when it comes to yoga, as long as you commit to it, it's 3 days a week, except for week 5. So week 1 to I have this all on my dry erase board. Can you hear me? By the way, I've kind of moved away from my microphone.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so week 1, 2, 3, and 4 are 3 days a week. Week 5 is 4, 6 is 3, 7 is 4, 8 is 3, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 13 are 3 weeks. So there's only 3 weeks out of the entire program, which are 4 weeks. 5, 6, and 7. Or I'm sorry, 5 and 7 are the only 4-week workout programs. Mm-hmm. The rest of them are 3s. And there's beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and they're all 13-week programs. So you could do every single workout program within a year, 39 weeks, if you do them back to back to back. Or even if you take a 2-week break in between, you can still get it done within a year.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's like I'm glad that we're doing it together. And like I said, other than the Wednesday, that's an hour and 15 minutes, does kind of suck. But Friday's energy, and then all of next week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday are all energies. Yeah. And then
I have to say, I loved that Wednesday was a little longer because the way that I don't know if it's my watch or the way the app works, mm-hmm. but it all works with like my FitnessPal and my like Apple Fitness stuff. And so I got like an extra 1,000 calories that I could eat yesterday, which was perfect because, we do s'mores at the church every other Wednesday during the summer. Mm-hmm. And so I got to indulge in a couple of just 2 s'mores sandwiches that I wouldn't have been able to have if I didn't have the extra caloric deficit from the extra workout. So it worked out for me really well. I was very happy. And let me tell you, after like even just 3 days without sugar, mm-hmm. that s'more tasted so freaking good.
Yeah, my biggest thing is just trying to find a way to eat consistently healthy.
Yeah, same.
But yeah, like I said, I don't mind the extra workout. It's just the thing that sucks is just the time of it all.
Yep. Yeah, it is. I complain about trying to find 10 minutes to do just stretch my hip flexors. And now I got to commit to 45 minutes. But it's 45 minutes every other day. What am I complaining about?
But what I love is because next week it's just energy, so you got 30 minutes for each of those, and then week 3 is 30-minute energy Monday, hour 15 Diamond Dozen energy on Wednesday, and then it moves into a new program, Fat Burner, on Friday, which is 40 minutes. So it's not all bad. I think after next week, I think that's the last hour 15 minutes. I think everything else is 45 to 30. I think Diamond Dozen does come back on week 9 though, or something like that. But my biggest thing, and I know we promised getting David on here, and we will do it. We'll see if we can maybe get a schedule for next Thursday or something like that. We can follow up with him. I just got to find a way.
He's turning into our Matt Damon.
Yeah, I know Sophie isn't anymore. Sophie changed her name, by the way. She's not Oh My Sophie anymore. I can't remember what show she changed her name to. But, I gotta talk with him and see what he could do about helping me find a way to wake up in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, I just have a hard time, and I think I said this to you in the text, like, I could wake up randomly at 3:30 in the morning, wide awake, but then I'm like, that's just way too early. I have to go back to bed, and then I go back to bed till either the alarms go off at 5:30 or my alarm goes off at 6:15, depending on which day it is. I'm just like, oh my God, I can't get up. But when it comes to Monday and Wednesday, you know, I think Monday we got, what, 5:45. I think I started to work out around like 5:50, so it wasn't too bad. I grabbed my water, had my workout clothes and everything ready to go. Wednesday, the alarm went off at 5:30. I think I started working out at 5:45, and now I got 40 minutes into it, and I had to dress when I got home. But I want to be able to wake up in the morning, because I listened to an episode of this freaking show from, I think it was season 2. It was either season 1 or season 2. I can't remember which one it was. It might have been season 1. Towards the season, I think it was like episode 40 or something like that. And at that time, I was talking about how I was going to the gym at 4:30 in the morning before work every day, and how great it felt and how awesome. I was like, dude, that was 7 years ago. I don't remember being that. I don't remember being that guy that got up at 4:30 in the morning, went to the gym, workout, came home, got cleaned up, and went to work. And I talked about how I had all this energy throughout the day. And I started thinking to myself, like, if I wanted to, if I thought about it, if I woke up at 4:30 in the morning, got in my car, got to the gym, I could probably be at the gym by 5 o'clock. And I could probably get an hour workout in I could probably be done by 6. And I could probably get home by like 6:20, 6:25-ish. In the shower, cleaned up, out the door by 7, and at work. It's like, that seems like it's doable. And I only work until 4 o'clock now. I don't work until 5. So maybe that's something I need to look at doing on, like, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and, I could go to the gym on a Monday, Monday, or not on a Monday, one day on the weekend or something. Like, I could find the time to do this stuff.
Sure.
I totally can. And I've done it before. I mean, obviously, back then, I was probably maybe 40, 50 pounds lighter, and or 30, 40 pounds lighter then. And obviously, I was, 28 instead of, 34. But it's still doable. Like, all this stuff is still doable. I just have to find a way to keep myself accountable.
Right.
Last thing I want to talk about before I leave, it's a pretty major announcement for myself, because I'm not a big fan of change. I kind of like being who I am. I have the same haircut, the same beard. I wear the same clothes for, who knows, the last decade of my life or so. But I made a change in my life that I'm really proud of. Yeah, I decided that Three Musketeer is no longer my favorite candy bar, and going forward, it'll now be Milky Way.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome to the dark side. I love Milky Ways.
They're
good. They're my favorite.
They're not bad. They're not bad. I don't know the next time I will ever have one, because I'm trying to stay away from sweets, because those are my crack. If I could survive away from sweets, that would be huge for me. But yeah, that is my addiction, is sweets, chocolate, candy, brownies, cookies. I gotta stay away from them. But yes, Milky Way, my new candy bar, my new top candy bar of choice. Don't worry, Reese's is still up there too, but for right now, it's Milky Way. Nice. Joe, what are you freaking thinking about?
I think I mentioned this in the past couple of weeks, but I have gotten really interested in the hobby of watch collecting.
You never mentioned that to me.
Okay, I wasn't sure. I talked about it a little bit on Geekcast Live, and I thought maybe I talked about it here too. So my great grandfather inherited his dad's watch that his dad got when he retired.
Mm-hmm.
And when he passed, he left it to me. And I found out I didn't have it. My mom was holding on to it. So after the wedding last weekend, my mom gave it to me because she found it. But I had his other watch, his everyday watch, and it just got me interested in it because his everyday watch was a Seiko, which is a Japanese watchmaking company, started in the late 1800s. And I've gone down this rabbit hole of trying to learn about these watches. The one from his dad is a Hamilton, which is a really expensive, fancy watch company. Like their cheapest watch nowadays is about $700. So it's pretty cool that I have this watch. It's probably not worth anything because I can't find a model number, and also it has his name engraved on the back of it. But it's still cool. It's a cool thing to have, and it's sort of just got me interested in the hobby and the topic and stuff. And I don't think I'll ever be the kind of guy who collects like a Rolex, because that's stupid. Like I really think it's dumb. You know, to pay $45,000 or more for something that does the same thing that all other watches do, which is tell fucking time. Ridiculous. Don't do that. I refuse. But I think I'd be willing to pay up to 4 figures. Ultimately, you know, if I was making good money and I had a good reason or found a good deal or something, I'd pay 4 figures for a watch, I think, for my collection. But yeah, and I found out there's all these cool, they don't have to just tell time. There are watches that have all these cool different complications is what they call them. And then there's, I think my favorite watch company right now is called the Mr. Jones Watch Company. And they just have the coolest watches. They're all like art pieces that they team up with artists, and the artist designs the design, and then they make the watch out of it. And, they're all like priced really well too. So like I think their most expensive watch is around $800. You know, so you could get a really cool everyday piece of art for your wrist for like $200-300, which is still a lot of money just to spend on a thing that tells time, which your phone already does. But like, it's kind of cool. I kind of dig it when it's like art. You know, art is a good reason to get into a hobby, or to pay more than you should for something. You know, like, I don't know. It's just neat. So I've kind of just gotten into the art. I haven't really gotten into the collection part of it because it's expensive, but I've been learning about the hobby and learning about different watch companies, and like, you know, like Citizen and Timex are really cool, historical American watchmaking companies that make luxury watches for like an average man should be able to afford them.
You seem like a pocket watch guy, Joe.
I love a pocket watch. I am a sucker for a pocket watch.
You seem like if you were to have a watch collection, it would be like pocket watches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did start one. I do have a Masonic pocket watch.
I have. I'm sorry. Go from what?
No, I was just from when I did my Blue Lightning.
Yeah, I have.
They didn't give it to me. I bought it afterwards.
I do have a pocket watch. Actually, I don't even know where it's at. I got it from from Intertech as some kind of gift. So it's like nothing like, you know, valuable or anything. It just says Intertech on it. But I have wristwatches. I have a Fossil and I have an Invicta.
Nice.
And ever since I've gotten Fitbits, I never wear them anymore. So I think they're all in my safe. I think the pocket watch is in there too, along with my class ring and my promise ring for my girlfriend from 10 years ago, which I don't know why the hell I still have it. But nice. Yeah, I mean, watches are solid. Like I said, especially like if you want to like wear something like nice or fancy and stuff like that. I got to lose weight in order to fit into my watches again. So
I hear you.
Yeah. But that's cool.
Lucky for me, both of I never knew my great-great-grandfather, but my great-grandfather was a heavy-set man, so his watch fits me.
It's a shame that, well, I guess it's not a shame, but I mean, it is your job. They have to work on Sundays because, I think going to like swap meets and stuff like that would be pretty cool to find watches and stuff there.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, maybe we'll vlog some swap meets or something for Freakin' Studios.
Yeah. That would be sweet. Yeah. Well, and like, I think that's the thing, is the story is what makes it way more interesting. Yes. You know, I would have absolutely no interest in this except that like I own a watch that my namesake owned and his namesake owned. Yeah. Which is really fucking cool. I've got like a 3 Joe watch is what I like to call it.
That's really awesome.
Which is just fun. It's just neat. Yeah. But yeah, what about you? What are you freaking thinking about?
Honestly, I'm really looking forward to looking up the history on some of these cemeteries we're going to go see in September. I'm going to get started on that this weekend, so I can kind of like, you know, have it, because, I mean, realistically, we're leaving, 6 weeks. I believe it's 6 weeks.
Wow. That's wild to think of.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to look up all these. I mean, obviously I got the list of cemeteries. I'm going to look up what history we have for them and everything. That way, when we do the videos, we give like a detailed story and everything, which I think we did pretty well, last year. I said, other than the audio screwing up, I think last year's was really solid. And
Oh yeah.
I think this year's might be a little bit better and everything. I just got to sit down with, Colin or Derek and everything, and hopefully they kind of just give me a brief education on how to properly, record and save and all that jazz and stuff like that. And we do got to figure out how we're going to keep everything charging on the drive, because, I don't have that, outlet plug, like my truck did anymore. Now I just got USBs and stuff like that. And, each microphone is a USB plug. And I got to charge my phone because that's where we're going to be doing the recording off of. And then we also got to charge the gimbal and stuff. So got like 4 things that need to keep charges through the first, I think, 9-hour day that we have or whatever the hell it is. And, yeah, just make sure that, as soon as September 11th comes around, when we head out, that everything is working, functional, and good to go.
Nice.
Yeah. Hey, Joe.
Yeah.
Every week our listeners catch Cartoon Joe here on this freaking show. But if only one show a week isn't enough for our listeners, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over the Geekcast Live podcast at gcl.ninja? No, that's not it anymore. It's violentpress.com.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you can find me there. Yeah, you can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, Twitter, searching Geekcast Live.
Yeah. Your show's still released Saturday mornings?
Usually. It varies sometimes based on who's editing and when they have time.
Gotcha. Yeah, I talked to Ryan. I gotta get him back over there. Oh yeah, that's right. We got a 300th episode coming up. We gotta see if Ryan's gonna come on for that.
Oh yeah.
Do me a favor, because I know you're gonna talk to Ryan soon.
Yeah.
Okay, so next week will be our 300th episode.
What?
What? We got
right.
290. Yeah, we got this. This is episode 299 right now. Yeah, see if Ryan's available next week.
Sure.
See if he's free next. See if he's available next week, and we'll plan either Tuesday or Thursday next week to record with him and everything. And then 300th episode. I'm also, now I'm freaking thinking about that because we're gonna have 300 episodes next week.
Wild.
So,
Wild.
God, that creeped up. So, awesome, man. Guys, make sure you check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter just by searching This Freaking Show. And of course, you can find our podcast wherever you find podcasts at just by searching This Freaking Show, except Stitcher, because Stitcher will be shutting down in August. So if you do listen to our show on Stitcher, starting in August, Stitcher will be no more. So you have to find a different place to listen to us. So, but iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean, search them, find us, subscribe to us, hit us ratings and reviews if you can as well. Guys, that's all I got. So, as always, I am Travesty.
And I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freaking Show. I'm out.